Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. So today we are going to be talking about Candida. We're going to be talking about medications and why they're needed sometimes. And I'm going to share what's going on in my life, and then we're going to do an Ask Sandy. So please excuse Tika's coughing. So we might as well start with that. So Tika right now has pneumonia. She is doing better. Right now she's actually playing with a toy, of course, because I'm doing a live stream. She's running around with a toy, and whenever she runs around, she starts to cough more. So I put my headphones in to hopefully minimize Tika's coughing sound. But what happened with Tika is I brought this little devil, Tazzy, to my friend's house for agility training because I'm getting ready for a trial in 2 weeks. And her dogs, she's like, well, my dogs had kennel cough 2 weeks ago, but we're pretty sure that they're out of the woods. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's just kennel cough, really. Like, it's just a virus. Dogs get it. I haven't had a kennel cough probably in about 15 years. I'm like, whatever, it's nothing. And I took Tazzy home, had a really great time training, and then took her home. 2 days later, Missile got sick, and she started coughing. Then she was better. 2 days, perfectly fine. And on Sunday, then Shiver and Raceland started coughing, and Raceland started throwing up all over the house. But again, he was sick for 2 days, and he was better. Shiver is still coughing now. It's been a week. And, Tika, Tazzy, they weren't getting sick. Then all of a sudden, Wednesday, over a week after Tazzy was exposed, Tika starts coughing more than usual. Now, Tika, since I've got her, I've had her for almost 3 years, she's always coughed if she runs too much. Like, she'll start coughing. But this was obviously kennel cough. And I'm like, okay, fine. And, it should run its course. Me totally not thinking that she's a 15-year-old dog, being a bad mom. I really should have had Tika on a whole crap ton of antimicrobials right as soon as Missile got sick. I should have started dosing up Tika. She is on a lot of supplements. Like, she's on a ton of supplements, and I just wasn't thinking. So Tika got sick. Then Thursday, Tika was having trouble breathing. And Friday morning, it was get up, pick my uncle up from the hospital, go bring Tika to the vet, get my hair done, prep for a wedding because I was a bridesmaid in a wedding. It was like crazy, crazy day, super stressed. Considering I was supposed to be going for insemination the next day. Like, it was absolute insanity. So Tika ended up on antibiotics because she progressed to a pretty severe pneumonia in 2 days. Like, it was from a healthy dog to an incredibly, incredibly sick dog in 2 days. So because she was so sick, I didn't go for insemination because my choice was to go alone to Toronto with Tika, who hates traveling. She's one of those dogs, like, I asked my dogs, do you want to go for a WALK? And they lose their mind. Like, literally, they start barking and jumping and running, and they lose their mind. And Tika, she runs and hides under the bed. Tika does not like to leave the house. She hates car rides. And in that state, I just couldn't bring her. And I also couldn't leave her. The vet, actually, she was so severe on Friday when she went for x-rays that the vet wanted to hospitalize her over the weekend. But that would mean she was alone and somebody would just check on her twice a day. And I'm like, no, there is no way I am leaving my dog alone in a veterinary hospital, and she might die. Like, for anybody who knows me, they know that Tika dying while I'm not here is probably one of my biggest fears on the planet, because I would end up being very guilty and feel really, really, really horrendous. It wouldn't be good. So I took Tika home and I didn't go anywhere, which sucks. But at the same time, Tika is doing better. She is doing better. She's still coughing, but she is doing better. So that's what's going on in my life with the insemination, because I have had lots and lots of messages. Did you go? Did you go? And it's like, no, I didn't go. 4 more weeks, well, 3.5 more weeks, and then I get to go. And it's okay. It really is okay, because I would have had to go alone. My fiance right now, he is finishing up a very busy summer schedule, and he was working that night, and I would have had to go alone, and it's kind of not the way you want to start it. Like already it's not like, oh, we get to have sex and make a baby. It's I get to go and get inseminated and have some doctor shove a tube inside me. Like, I don't even know how it works. I'll give you details when it happens, but it's not romantic already. And then to go by myself makes it even less romantic. So our plan is to make a holiday of it in September. We're going to go away for 2 days. Tika should be better by then. That's, you know, my positive thinking. Or at least we'll have some more answers with that. So sorry about all the sun and glares. It actually stopped raining. But yeah, that's what's going on. Melissa says, poor pups, wait till you have a baby. Sick a lot too. Well, I'm hoping to avoid the sick baby a lot too with, you know, all the natural stuff. The thing with Tika, like, my border collies have never been sick. I've had them since puppies, and they've never really been sick, except Missile had a reaction to a rabies vaccine and almost died. But besides that, none of my dogs have been sick, and Missile might have had a couple UTIs, and I treated it naturally. She was fine. So when I get these rescues and they're sick, it's really hard. When I start them from a puppy on a raw diet, and I know Tika's hacking away. Tika, can you go outside while I do the live stream? Go outside, please. She's like, yeah, right. I'm going to sit here and hack. But when I have them from a puppy and I start them off raw diet, natural supplements, you know, just whatever vaccines the breeders make them have, they're healthy and they stay healthy, and I don't have to do anything with them. They're just very healthy, resilient dogs. And then when I get them from rescue, they come to me, like Tika came to me with rot, and she had already had 12 teeth removed. I had to get another 10 teeth removed, and now her remaining 5 teeth, 3 of them are rotten again. But I'm not putting her under. There's nothing I can do. She's like 15 years old, and the last time she went under, she was completely changed. Because the anesthesia with old brains just doesn't work very well. Okay, so that's enough about me. Let's talk about Candida. So Candida is one of those things that is getting focused on right now. Candida is a big one, heavy metals are a big one, Lyme is a big one, mold is a big one. People seem to be focusing on one thing. They think one thing is causing all the symptoms in their body. They'll be like, oh, I have, you know, anxiety. Is it caused by Candida? Or my ear hurts. Is it caused by Candida? And I can tell you that the majority of times, the symptoms you're having are caused by imbalances and deficiencies. So neurotransmitter imbalances, sex hormone imbalances, adrenal dysfunction, liver congestion, that's going to be a really big one. Those ones are going to be causing the majority of your symptoms. Thyroid dysfunction, that's going to cause a lot of symptoms. So when you work on rebuilding the body first, a lot of your symptoms will go away for 80 to 90% of the population. There's going to be some of the population who, yes, their gut is such a mess that their symptoms do not clear up until you address it. Does that mean you need to go after the gut right away? No, because when you go after the gut, anything you kill in the gut is going to release toxins. And if you're already backed up and you're already stressed out and your body's already overwhelmed, you're going to cause more stress and you are going to get sicker. And everybody calls it detox. Detox, yes, will happen to some degree, but it's not supposed to keep happening in severe intensity for a long period of time. That is toxin buildup. It's not moving. You're reabsorbing it, or you're just not getting rid of it at all. So you need to focus on rebuilding the body first. Now with Candida in particular, we have to remember that it's part of the normal flora. It's supposed to be there. You cannot eliminate it. You cannot eliminate it all because it's supposed to be there. It's impossible. It would be like wiping out all your gut flora. You might wipe out a lot of it, but some of it is going to come back. Now, since Candida, Tika, you were just outside. Stop, please. Okay, go lay down. Okay, I'm going to put her outside in a second. Go outside. She wants to be on my lap. Oh, she wants to say hi. Come here. She doesn't want to say hi. Anyway, so what happens with Candida is because it is part of the normal flora, sorry, I'm trying to get that light out of my face, because it's part of the normal flora, when you try to kill it, it will come back. So Candida is overgrowing because of a couple of reasons. The first reason is the body is really stressed out. So you might have taken antibiotics, you might have had a really poor diet, you might have had a lot of emotional stress. The body might be dealing with heavy metals, it might be dealing with toxin overload, and the immune system is not doing its job. It's not keeping the yeast in check. So the yeast starts to overgrow. And you take, some Candida cleanses, you start cutting out sugar. What's going to happen is the Candida is going to decrease in numbers. But if you haven't fixed the immune system that's supposed to do its job and keep Candida in check, it's going to come right back. As soon as you stop the diet, as soon as you stop the antifungals, it will come back. Now, there is a second school of thought that believes that the body purposely increases Candida because of its ability to take on toxins. So it has the ability to bring in and absorb heavy metals and other toxins from the body. So things that you're getting in food, things that you're breathing in the air, things that you're putting on your skin. So Candida is going to absorb that for you. And when it absorbs it, it takes the burden off your cells. It takes the burden off your body. And when you kill it, when you kill the Candida, all of those toxins are going to be released. And they were just safe. They were safe contained in the Candida, and you just let them out. And now your body has to deal with them. And your body is not going to like you very much because it's already having to deal with all of the other crap that you've put in it. So those are the two schools of thoughts with Candida. I honestly think it's a mixture of both. Candida, yes, it is taking on all these toxins. We know that. Whether the body specifically tries to allow it to overgrow or whether it's overgrowing because the immune system is stressed, it really doesn't matter. The other thing is that Candida also feeds off of the byproducts of other pathogens. So things like blasto and crypto and Klebsiella, all of these things in your gut, in your large intestine, are going to produce toxic byproducts, and the Candida feeds and thrives off of it. So if you just focus on antifungals and killing Candida without hitting the large intestine first, again, it's going to come back as soon as you stop. And you have to remember a lot of the things that you take are going to knock out your good gut flora. So going on these long-term cleanses and protocols to kill things in your gut is wiping out your good bacteria, and it's also releasing all those toxins. And if you're not supporting the liver, you're going to run into a lot of problems. So flip it around, work on your liver first. It's a must. You need to open your detox pathways. If you suffer from any constipation, you need to do a bowel cleanse, a small intestinal bowel cleanse, not a large intestinal bowel cleanse. You need a good deep cleaning. Open that up. You need to work on your kidneys. You need to be doing, infrared saunas, coffee enemas, liver and gallbladder flushes, repairing that liver phase 2 pathway. That needs to be fixed. The majority of us are having issues with methylation. We're having issues with sulfoxidation, sulfation. All those things need to be addressed. That whole phase 2 needs to be rebuilt before you touch your gut. And so once your liver is functioning good, you've got your detox symptoms down, you've been working on your liver and you've been working on your adrenals and your sex hormones and your thyroid and your neurotransmitters, and you're feeling better and you're feeling stronger, then you're ready to go to war on your gut. But you need to do the large intestine first. You need to look and run things like a para-wellness test and a GI map, do after a biofilm buster, check and get rid of SIBO. All of these things need to be addressed before Candida because Candida feeds off of them. And if you address Candida first, it's just going to come back because it's feeding off all the other stuff. You also have to think about heavy metals. Now, what is going to happen when you start to do all the work on rebuilding your body, when you start to work on your large intestine, unless when you're doing the actual work on your large intestine, your Candida might get worse because you are killing off good bacteria. No matter what, we can't avoid it. We will be killing off good bacteria. That's why we do a protocol, we retest, we take some time off. If we find something, if we're not successful, because we're not always, if your gut is a mess, you can't expect one protocol, one thing to fix your body and make you perfectly healthy. Like, natural healing takes time. It's not take the supplements for a month and you're going to be better. It just doesn't work like that. You have to be realistic. It's not modern medicine. There are no quick fixes. You have to be in it for the long run. So you do your protocol, you retest. Your gut protocol, your large intestine protocol will depend on what you find on the test, because every pathogen requires different lengths. And then you're going to take some time off, you're going to retest, and then you go at it again. But you need to give you need to give your body a break in between, otherwise you're going to break it down too much more. And once you've done that and you've given your body a break, you should feel a lot better. And the symptoms, the actual true symptoms of Candida, like the yeasty tongue, and you might have more fungus issues with your stool, or you might be seeing a lot of fungus on your stool culture, vaginal infections, that kind of stuff. True yeast issues. Not everything that's going on in your body is caused by yeast. Let's remember that. So a lot of your symptoms are going to start to clear up anyway. And then you're going to be tackling SIBO. If you have SIBO, then you're going to be tackling heavy metals. Throughout the whole process, you're supporting the gut. But remember, we can't actually completely heal the gut until all the stress in the gut is removed. And it's much more than Candida. There's all the toxins, there's the heavy metals, and you have to remember the neurological component, because whenever you are stressed, your body will leach amino acids from the gut to feed your brain. The brain is the most important part. That's why I almost always work on the brain first. Get your neurotransmitters balanced. Because if you don't, everything you do is pointless. You need to work on your neurotransmitters, and you need to work on the way you think. Because if you are constantly in fear and stress and producing cortisol and breaking down your body and being in this catabolic state, what you do with your gut is pointless. You need to get control of your thoughts, and you need to work on your neurotransmitters. So that's what I have to say about Candida. It's is it a friend? Is it foe? There's that school of thought now that's thinking Candida is a friend. So keep that in mind when you're on a Candida diet and you feel like crap, or you're doing a bunch of Candida cleanses and it just keeps coming back and you're frustrated. Well, that is why. Totally. Okay, now let's go to the second thing that I want to talk about, medications and when they're needed. There are sometimes people posting in the group or they're messaging me. A lot of times people are private messaging me and they're really, really sick. And in all reality, they do need to go on medications. If at any time your life is in danger, whether it's from severe anxiety, whether you feel like you're going to commit suicide, whether you're like Tika and you've got severe pneumonia that happened in 2 days, you need to go on a medication. It's not ideal, but natural medicine takes time to work. It's not going to give you the effect that a prescription medication is going to give you. Now, does that mean it's the answer? No, but there's a time and the place. Like if you went and were in an accident and your leg got chopped off, please don't go to your naturopath. Please don't call me. Go to the hospital. I know it seems like common sense, but people feel so guilty. It's like we feel that, no, natural is the only way to go and modern medicine is evil. And, that might sort of be the case. It's a big money thing, but I think emergency medicine is pretty damn cool. It keeps people alive. So keep yourself alive. And when you're feeling well enough, that is when you go to natural medicine, because natural medicine definitely, we kick ass in chronic illness. Natural medicine is amazing with chronic illness. Acute, severe illness, no. It's like that girl in Canada. The parents had this child and the child got sick, and then they took the child to a naturopathic doctor and got something from the naturopathic doctor, and the kid died. And this really tarnishes natural medicine, because that's really not what it's for. That's why in the past, 200-300 years ago, a lot of people died from little things, from, a cut, getting infected. So there is a time and a place for antibiotics, just like Tika. It was really hard for me to bring her to the vet and the vet be like, oh my God, this is bad. We need to go on these medications. And you could damn well believe that I'm like, okay, we need to go on these medications. And I tried to get her, I'm like, you know what, can you just keep her, hospitalize her right now, give her the IV, give her IV again before you leave. I don't mind coming back twice a day and bringing her and waiting with her and sitting with her while she gets her IV antibiotics, but there's no way I'm leaving her to die alone in a vet clinic. So anyway, that was an aside. That was a total rabbit hole. Call me Alice. But, there is a time and a place for medications. Please keep yourself alive. And then there's the other thing. When people get older, it's the same thing. When you're older, when you're elderly, you might need a medication to keep you alive. You've had, 80, 90 years of feeding your body toxins. You can't expect natural medicine to fix it. It's in a couple months or give you quick, rapid relief of your symptoms. It's just not what happens. So if you're sick, please go on a medication. Like if you're deathly ill, medication is definitely needed. Okay, sorry, I'm going to scroll up. And Samantha says, what can you do for Candida die-off with the paleo diet? Anytime I get rid of grains, Candida die-off symptoms get severe. So weakness, brain fog, and feeling dizzy. Well, that's not necessarily a symptom of Candida die-off. It might be a symptom of you not being able to metabolize fat and protein. So when you go on a paleo diet and you're cutting out grains, which may be the only thing your body can convert to energy, you may be having problems with your cellular respiration and you cannot convert protein or fat to energy. So when you go on this diet, you're literally starving yourself. And that's why you get weak and brain fog and you feel dizzy, because your brain is not getting any energy. That is normally the case. It's not normally die-off, but people go to that. If it is die-off, then you need to do a lot of work on your liver. You need to rebuild your phase 2 pathway. You need to get bile flowing. You need to make sure your detox pathways are open. So that's, small intestinal cleanses. That is working on the kidneys, skin brushing, infrared saunas, that kind of stuff. So I would definitely run an organic acids test, Samantha, and check to see how well you're metabolizing fat and protein. If you're not, then that diet's not for you. It's not time to be doing. That diet. I do not get rid of grains, and I do not get rid of carbs or sugar. I eat a very balanced diet, and I feel amazing on it. So run an oats. It's going to tell you what's going on with your fat, carb, and protein metabolism. You can fix it with supplements. It's going to take a few months. And then if you feel like you still need to go paleo, then go back paleo and you should have a lot easier time of it. And you might find that you start digesting and absorbing and feeling better and craving meat and fat more instead of the grains. That's what I've been working on, my fat and protein metabolism now for quite a while. And I'm now starting to thrive more on meat and fat than I did before when I was just primarily doing carbohydrates. Okay, so Jocelyn, what is a good cleanse to do? Well, you can Google Dr. Jensen's tissue cleanse through Bowel Health. It is an intense cleanse, but it's the only one that I really like. I've researched a lot. It's supporting with juices. You are fasting. It is a tough one to do, but it's amazing what you will pass. I do have a modified Jensen cleanse because I thought his cleanse was ridiculous. And I modified it, and that is available in the liver detoxification course. So my liver detox self-study course has the small intestinal cleanse, it's got a kidney cleanse, it's got your liver and gallbladder flushes, and it also has your coffee enema instructions and then instructions on how to rebuild your phase 2 pathways. So that would be good for both you, Samantha, and Jocelyn. Joy says, how do benzos affect this? Well, benzos are going to be affecting your neurotransmitters and really putting a huge burden on your liver. They are notoriously difficult to get off of. You're going to have to really boost your serotonin a lot, make sure you're getting a lot of cofactors, and really, really support your liver to deal with your detox symptoms if you're trying to go off of them. Mary Kay says, if your gut is out of order, can you absorb the neurotransmitters? Well, we don't absorb neurotransmitters, we absorb amino acids, and my gut was a mess. I had the food poisoning, and I had 2 tapeworms, I had blasto, crypto, like my gut was a mess, but I was still totally able to absorb my supplements. You're taking a lot. Supplements are basically broken down nutrients in high doses. So you're going to absorb some. If all the other crap is able to pass through, all the toxins are able to pass through, the supplements are going to get through also. It's more so not that you're not absorbing it, it's that your body doesn't know what to do with it, or you don't have the enzyme function because you don't have the other cofactors to convert the amino acids into the neurotransmitters. That's why most people have a problem where they say they're not absorbing something, it's not working, but it's because there is a problem on the cellular level actually using those nutrients because the enzymes are not working. Jeannie says, what probiotics do you recommend? The only probiotics I recommend before a SIBO test, if you have not tested and ruled out SIBO, then the only ones I recommend are Megaspore, Prescriptus Cyst, Jarrow's Ideal Bowel Support, S. boulardii, and the macrophages. I can't remember what they're called. There's different ones. You just need to make sure that there's no prebiotics, because prebiotics feed good bacteria, and SIBO is good bacteria in the wrong place. So make sure there's nothing that can feed good bacteria in your probiotic. They're Megaspore, Prescriptus Cyst, S. boulardii, those are specifically designed for SIBO. So until you run your SIBO test, you can use those. And if you confirm that you don't have SIBO, then by all means, whatever probiotic you want, fermented foods, go for it, as long as you're not having a reaction. If you have a reaction to fermented foods or to your probiotic, do not immediately assume that it's die-off. Could be a histamine reaction. It could be that you're feeding SIBO. So always, try to think outside the box. Okay, let's grab some questions here. Donna says, tell me more about why Candida is not the problem, which we already went over. Nicole says, my son was recently diagnosed with SIBO following a lactulose breath test. I did watch the training on SIBO, and I'm pretty sure it's hydrogen sulfide type. Remember, Nicole, that hydrogen sulfide type would not show up on your lactulose breath test. If it did, if you were seeing a flat line of gases, that would indicate hydrogen sulfide type. Or if you're having a lot of sulfury smelling rotten egg farts, that would indicate not necessarily hydrogen sulfide SIBO, it could just be a problem with your sulfur pathway. That sulfoxidation pathway could be not functioning. Okay, I'm talking really fast. I realize that there can be many factors which lead to this overgrowth. What is the most efficient way to identify the culprit? And for a 12-year-old, what is the safest method to tackle SIBO? What are safe probiotics to give? And can probiotics contribute to gassiness? So I just went over the probiotics. Could this be causing his trouble with weight gain? Are there certain foods he should or shouldn't be eating? His GI doc recommended antibiotics. I'm with you on that. I wouldn't go that way. Any feedback? So, yeah, he needs to run a GI map and para-wellness after a biofilm buster. And you said he was 12, so he's probably the same size almost as an adult. Most boys that age nowadays are. So definitely doing the gut, he needs to get his gut in order, and you need to work on his liver before addressing the SIBO. It sucks. There's a new supplement that I am trying out on my clients, and you guys are definitely welcome to try it also. It's called Toxa-Prevent. It is only in the UK, so it's like Toxa, Toxa, prevent, whatever. You can Google it, and it is a zeolite that binds to gases in the intestine and really does help with SIBO, or so I've read, and so other people have told me, so I am trying. I tend to let my colleagues guinea pig on their clients before I guinea pig on my own clients. And I know all my clients love that they're guinea pigs. Anyway, Okay, so you can definitely look that up and check it out for your son. And I think yeah, so those are basically all your questions. Stephanie says, your opinion on Oxy-Powder. I don't like it. I think it's too severe, too intense. I do like, and other ways to colon cleanse was the rest of her question. So I do like, I like the cleanse that I designed in my liver Rebuild Your Liver Naturally course, which you have access to, Stephanie. So definitely go and check that out. You can print it off and do it. And I think you're already juicing, so you're going to love it. Or you can do Dr. Jensen's tissue cleanse. It's a little bit more intense and harder to follow. Leanna says, do these probiotics mentioned help SIBO? Yes, they do help SIBO. Megaspore is very much formulated for SIBO. And the prephage, that's what it's called. That is really great for SIBO also. Liz says, I would love some help on how to detox without becoming so ill I have to stop. Every single time I feel I can't detox my body, there's zero chance of getting well again. Yeah, you're totally right. So you don't want to detox. You want to rebuild your liver. That's what you want to do. You want to open the detox pathways. And if you get severely ill, you will need to be going very incredibly slow. Don't rush the process. You might need to do, a couple supplements one day and then a day off, a couple supplements the next day and then a day off, and just let your body catch up. Because right now you have this buildup of toxins and you start turning on these liver pathways. They're going to start to work, but then they're going to bottleneck again, and you're going to have that overflow. You're going to start mobilizing, stop mobilizing. You're going to be reabsorbing things. So you really, really do have to go slowly. It could take you months. Literally, I'm not being sarcastic, and it's not to, discourage you at all. It needs to be done, but you need to go slow. There is no rushing through this process when you're hypersensitive. So you can definitely check out my liver self-study course. If you do need help, you can message me. You can book a free health assessment. And on that note, I do have some coaching spots available coming up for next month. If you're thinking about coaching, if you're tired of doing all this work, and yes, all the information out there for you to get well is on the internet. How long do you want to spend researching? How long do you want to spend on trial and error? I can tell you, I spent over 5 years before I started testing and got help and got answers. So it really depends on how quickly you want to move the process along. I provide pretty unparalleled support for my clients in the form of unlimited text and email support, which is probably the thing that my clients like the most, is that they don't always have to be Googling, they don't always have to be worrying. I'm there to talk to them almost all hours of the day except between like 12 and 9 when I'm asleep. So if you're tired of doing it on your own, you can definitely book a free health assessment. It's on my website, www.motivatedtoheal.com. Go to work with me. Please check out my coaching package. It has the prices, it has what it entails. It's a lot of work. I ask my clients to really work and change their mindset, their lifestyle, their diet. We're doing protocols, we're doing testing. It costs money. So check it out and see what my coaching entails before signing up for a free health assessment. It really, saves a lot of time for both our parts. Because I really do only want to work with people who are motivated to heal. That's the whole name of my business and my company, which is now going to be Motivated to Heal Incorporated as of September 1st. Yay! Did that last week too. So I really want people who are committed to doing this. That's why I work in 6-month packages, and I'm definitely going to be getting rid of my starter package because I prefer to work in a 6-month program with people who are committed to getting results. And they're committed to doing the work, and they're not going to quit when the going gets tough, because it's not all sunshine and lollipops. Like, this is hard work. And Michelle says, yay, you incorporated. Yes, and you really helped me make the choice because I was terrified to incorporate. And yeah, you really pushed me into that direction. And I was really tempted to change my name to Amazing. I don't know why, like amazing. I always say feel amazing. Amazing Incorporated, like amazing. But yeah, okay, I'm not doing that. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to dig myself out of this rabbit hole now and go to another question. Except I don't know where I am. Okay, Lauren said, what is the best way to get rid of reoccurring throat infections? I'm having intense pain in my tonsils and throat, and the doctor said I have tonsillitis. Should I take antibiotics and steroids they gave me? Well, I could never tell you not to take antibiotics or steroids because I would get in big trouble. So that's something that you have to decide. Personally, I would only take antibiotics or steroids if I was dying. So ask yourself, are you dying? If you're not dying, then check out the secret magic potion. That should wipe out anything that's going on in your tonsils. Now, if you're having reoccurring infections of any type, there is underlying crap going on that you need to deal with. You need to work on your liver and you need to work on your gut. And you need to take the stress out of your body and fix your hormones and your neurotransmitters and your adrenals so that it can do its job and get rid of these pathogens. But I will post the link to you for the secret magic potion. You can also Google it in the group. That's me. Oh, guys, my brain has not been itself since Thursday. So if I have forgotten anything, or if you've messaged me, or I was supposed to do something, I was writing Secret last Thursday. Secret has been a twit ever since I lunged her when they were doing work on the barn. And now she's terrified of everything. And I was riding her and she was being a total idiot. And then she calmed down and I'm like, okay, she's calming down. So I gave her her reins and I let her stretch down and she spooked 5 feet sideways and I almost fell off. And I didn't think anything of it. I finished my ride. I untacked her. On the way home, I had severe neck pain because I must have went and did my great whiplash maneuver. And then an instant headache. It was not cool. This last week was super fun. Like it was just Tika, wedding, whiplash, not going for insemination, but thinking I'm going for insemination, massive relationship issues. Yeah, it was good. So if I'm forgetting anything, it's just because I had a little bit of whiplash, which I don't do well with because I've had I think this is number 5 now. I'll have to count. But I went to see my osteopath today and it was freaking hilarious. So I go to the osteopath and I don't know what he does. Don't even ask me to try to explain. They manipulate the bones and the joints. And so he does this cranial sacral stuff and he's really good. Can't understand a word that he says. Very sad that he's actually leaving to Toronto and not coming back to Sudbury anymore. But I can go see him in Toronto. I can go see him in Espanola. And so he's doing his thing and he puts me in a trance. Literally, I'm not asleep, but I'm not dreaming, but I'm not awake. And it's the weirdest thing. And I shouldn't be driving after I have it because I drove home and there's this old people crosswalk and the lights flash. And so I stopped at the old people's crosswalk and I just stayed there for like 5 freaking minutes before I realized it wasn't a red light. It was really, really bad. Don't tell anybody that happened. Oh God, it was terrible. So, but he's so good. And I definitely will go to Toronto when I go for insemination. I will go and see him because my neck is fine. Like whatever he did to me, I was in so much pain after he did it, and I had a headache, and I was like completely zombied out for like 3 hours. And if Stacy's watching, she had to talk to me today, and she's like, "Are you sure you don't want to reschedule this?" I'm like, "No, I'm fine." And now I'm fine. He's really, really good. So if you guys have an osteopath, fine. If you don't have one, find one. They're awesome. Okay, now the next question. So Sandy says, how to balance microflora when you're treating a UTI with natural antimicrobials and Candida increases. So again, S. boulardii is going to be the big one. You're going to want to do prephage, prescripticus, megaspore. You can really dose up on the probiotics, totally. Nicole says, do you have any experience with 23andMe and working with people who have a mutation in the MTHFR? So I don't do 23andMe. I do not like genetic testing because, first of all, it's not telling you that something is for sure happening. There's a chance of it happening. And we know through epigenetics that we can turn genes on and off. So if you're heterozygous, I think it's like 72 or 75% chance that it's happening, or 62%. And then you have, if you're homozygous, then it's like, or it's opposite. So 20% chance for heterozygous, and then like 70-80% chance for homozygous, because that means you have 2 SNPs. So, right, even that means it's still working a little bit. There's still that chance that it's still working. So I don't have I've never actually done any looking at 23andMe, because I find people label themselves. I have this problem, I have it for life. And then that mindset and that label prevents and blocks anything that we're trying to do. So, but I do have a lot of experience with MTHFR. I can definitely rebuild the liver pathway, and I can run blood work to see what's really going on. I can run a oats test to see, and compare it with your blood work. There's all this testing that I can do to see what's actually going on, instead of going by a genetic test, which is just giving you a percentage, which we know that if we fix the root cause, that those SNPs might even go away. They're not going to go away. They're still going to be there, but they're just going to turn off. Do I work with them differently? No, not necessarily, because a lot of people have MTHFR issues. A lot of people have methylation issues. So it's part of the work that we have to do, is to fix your liver phase 2 pathway. So that's all the questions there. And I know that there was a couple. Nicole says, so frustrated. I am unable to see the feed as it is frozen. I will log on later to watch. I'm curious to hear about Tika. Okay, it should. I'm thinking it's working. Hopefully, if it is working, somebody tell me it's working. I know Michelle commented. So, Colleen says, I've had success with low-dose naltrexone. Have you heard that it is more difficult to rid the body of Candida using LDN? I'm not a fan of LDN, just because it is a medication. And two, when people try to get off of it, they have rebound effects. So whatever was happening tends to come back worse. That is why I don't like it. It's more so a Band-Aid, and I'm all about identifying imbalances and root causes and getting rid of them and restoring the body to health instead of putting a Band-Aid on it. Not that I'm, if your issues are severe and they're driving you nuts and you want to use that as a Band-Aid while you go after the root cause, that's fine. Just be aware that when you try to get off of it, there might be some some rebound. Linda says Mercury's in retrograde, eclipse, new moon, all makes things crazy too. Yes, actually that probably does correspond with it. Megan says, I just found out I have Lyme. My FMD recommends antibiotics for 6 months and 6 months. Do you treat Lyme? I don't know. You know what I just said. My FMD recommends antibiotics for 6 months and 6 months of herbals. Do you treat Lyme in a certain way? I do not treat Lyme like that. I still do all the work, rebuild the body, fix the imbalances, the deficiencies, go after the gut, because I have seen people try to treat Lyme and fail, just like Candida. It doesn't go away until they get the immune system to do its job. And then there's a lot of people test for Lyme and they're positive, and a lot of people who are healthy test for Lyme and they're positive. So is it one of those things that we're just now fixating on Lyme and we're doing all these antibiotics and we're wiping out our gut and we're getting sicker? I've really strayed away from intense, crazy protocols long term. Megan says it's working, and Michelle says I can see the video but not the feed. Okay, so you guys are just not seeing the questions? I don't know. Those are pretty well all the questions. Lyme, what is it called? Biocidin has a lot of research on Lyme that they've done in labs. They haven't done as many human trials, but the Biocidin is showing really good success with Lyme and all the viral co-infections. So check it out. You can go to their website. They do have a new liposomal form. If you have a functioning sulfoxidation pathway and you're not having issues with sulfur, that would be definitely a good route. Again, you're going to be doing biofilm busters because it's not so much the Lyme, it's the co-infections that are hiding in the biofilm. Tika, you were so quiet. Go lay down. I know. Do you want to show everybody how cute you are? Do you want to? Come here. Don't run away. Okay, Tika has to say hi. See? She's wheezing. She says, I'm so scared. Oh, my poor baby dog. Okay, go cough. Yeah, now she's really going to cough. Okay, Michelle says, sorry, I meant I can see the video but not the commas. And Leanna says it's frozen. And Michelle says, oh, I know, isn't it sad? Like old dogs are, I don't know that I can do this again. My last Jack that I rescued, she was really old, and she's had 2 strokes. The first stroke was like 3 weeks of force feeding, and I kept her alive, and then she recovered, and she was like a little puppy again for 3 weeks, and then she had another stroke. And they're just super, the old dogs get so attached to me that when I go away, they get depressed, and it's hard. And here I am telling my clients, guilt does not serve you, and here I am feeling guilty leaving my dog. Anyway, I'll work on that. So, what is your experience getting rid of Klebsiella? I'm told I probably got it when I was 5 and had scarlet fever. I'm over 60 now, having disaster pants periodically. Disaster pants. I don't know what that is. What is the range of time I should expect for healing? 3 months. Definitely. I'd do a 3-month protocol. Anna says she is lovely. Thank you. She is my sweetie, but I think I say that now. Watch me after Tika passes, get another old dog. All right, so I think we have any questions, unless there are any other questions live. If there's any questions live, post them. I will answer them. I've got like 10 more minutes. And in the meantime, we will look at Groot. Oh, Laura says disaster pants equal diarrhea. Sorry. Sometimes I'm a little blonde. I couldn't figure that out. So, right. I would also, Klebsiella will definitely be, it will definitely be contributing to it. I will also ask you, did you run a biofilm buster before you tested? And if the answer is no, then there's probably something else there besides the Klebsiella that is affecting it. And you will need to do a biofilm buster throughout your treatment, but I would make sure that you have used one to make sure there's nothing else there like blasto or crypto that you can target at the same time as the Klebsiella, and you don't have to miss that out. And Linda says, I love Groot. I love Groot too. Groot is the best. My Groot never worked. He's supposed to be a solar Groot that you press the button and he sings songs, and he doesn't, but he's very cute and he sits on my table. All right, so no other questions. I will be coming on live probably on Thursday. I'm assuming. I just have to check when one of my courses are, because we need to do another welcome post. We reached 4,000 members, which is awesome. If you are thinking about coaching, definitely, and you want to get on the list for September, www.motivatedtoheal.com. Check out my package under Work With Me. And if it's something you're interested in, please book a free health assessment, and we can talk about whether coaching is the right fit for both of us. I'm pretty picky about who I work with, because I like to get I like to have successes and success stories and great testimonials. That's what I like to do. I love my job. I love when my clients send me messages that they're feeling well and that my coaching is having a really amazing impact on their life. So have a good night, everybody. I will see you in a couple of days. Bye.